Hello everyone, E here. Welcome to yet another LEGO Hogwarts update. Without further ado, let's get into all the new changes. And please consider sharing your thoughts in the comment section after the video is over. Let's get to it. Alright. Well, I have finally moved it to the foreground because, yeah, it's time to work on the courtyard. And I have done something that I was really actually unsure what to do, but I have kept this intact and I will keep it intact for quite a bit, I feel. At least until I set most of the things here into stone. So let's talk about this new plate here. And first I'll talk about that, and then we'll discuss the old version. So I again decided to start with the Mills plate, which is not exactly a Mills plate. One of the reasons the way it is it needs to be the same level as over here, and it needs to overlap as best as possible with the way that things are done here. And over here we have a brick, and then we have a sandwich between two plates, but over here there will be a section of tiling which will exactly equal the amount of height on this, and that's why we have over here the same brick between two plates, but underneath there is another row of plate, just so it equals the amount of height. And also it serves as a stabilizer in a way, because as mentioned before, this is not a like a standard Mills plate, unlike here where you can see the base is a 32 by 32 for 32 by 32 standard plates. I am escaping from that, so over here I have just a lot of supports on places mainly where things are not as stable, but yeah, I don't really care about most of that ugliness. So let's talk about the dimensions. This courtyard is not exactly the same as this one when it comes to proportions. So over here, I believe it's a little bit shorter, and then it was as wide as this plate here, and I have shortened it by 3 studs on each side, so it will be 6 studs shorter when it comes to these dimensions. And it is not a perfect square. It is this side is longer than this side, and I will tell you why that it is. I was trying to escape it, but it just needs to look more aesthetically pleasing than it is before. Over here, when we have the square, it just doesn't work mathematically. Over here you can see this weird shape. You can see that we have a window that is 5 studs, and it's sandwiched between 2 pillars that are 2 studs each. And over here, oops, what's going on? We have 6 studs here, and same with over here. And now the problem with this is the following. These windows that go around like this, there is another line that goes on the inside, right? And ideally, when you look for this window, you should be able to look for that window on the other side, on the inner square in a way. And that means that it needs to be proportionate for these windows to be exactly the way they are, and this corridor to be exactly this, well, wide. Could be a few studs wider or not. It just means that you're set into a specific dimensions when it comes to over here, and I didn't want to get this moment over here. And before I was restricted by the 32 by 32 base plates, and I don't want to go through that again. So in order for that to work, this can't be a perfect square. So on most pictures that I have seen, the windows, the number of windows is 9. So over here on the old version, you can see 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one counts as a window, 9. Most of them show that, but not all. So if you want to have 9 by 9, that makes it very kind of difficult, to be honest. And in order to solve that, we will have 9 by 8, and then on the inner we will have 6 with the other one on each side to lead the corridor. And I have placed these bricks over here basically just to make sure that I know where things should be. It actually will make building a lot easier. Probably still it would take a lot of time to do, but it would be really a blessing to have these things set. So I was really careful to do that first. The other thing over here you might notice is to give me a idea or exactly where this part will be, the gatehouse. And over here it indicates really where basically this is this wall here, and over here is the pillars that are sticking out by one stud, and that is exactly where this is. And this over here is the wall that is over here basically. So all that, having done that before, is really something helpful that I am doing with keeping this intact. Obviously, most likely once I build up the outer courtyard here, I will start by building these windows here and everything around the edges. I will take this apart and then probably work on these coverings, which will probably be a bit different when it comes to dimensions. We'll see. And I will leave the gatehouse for last. So one thing that I'm thinking about and I'll have to figure out is exactly how to apply this texture, with which you're very familiar with by now, most likely, over here, because here and there it will be kind of, I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't blindly apply it everywhere. For example, over here where we have all these 1x3 slopes, obviously over here, you can't add any texture. Potentially you can add texture from this stud, and from these three bricks here. So do I even add this type of texture over here in the windows? I am not sure. I'm considering not doing that, or maybe if I do, it is a bit different or some kind of minor texture, but there isn't much you can do. You can't even add these type of macaroni pieces here, because you can't really attach them over here. You can maybe attach one from here, but yeah, over here it's kind of locked, all these, and then you have one here, then the other one is hidden. It's not gonna work well. One way would be to attach a plate over here, up to here and up to here, but then I don't know, will that look alright? I will have to experiment. I mean, I am just considering what will come up as I'm building. And obviously there will be texture most likely here and here. Now I remember this was a bit of a pain, because over here you can see this is the removable part, by the way. We have a row of plate, then 2 bricks, then 2 rows of plate, and then this decoration kind of layer. And since the texture is built up on these snot bricks, it means whenever we go into plate, it's kind of a problem. So would I want to make it this maybe a little bit higher? But I remember, I mean, this was like maybe 2 years ago now that I worked on this design and kind of perfected it. It's actually one of the things that I'm very proud of from my early days, and still am, because most people just do this on, you know, like with plates that are laying around, and it looks fine on some builds, but this looks a lot more clean. It's very sturdy. Like this thing, you can pick it up, you can probably throw it against the wall and it will not really shatter. And I really like these type of builds. Just I'm a fan of things that are not flaky, that you can pick up, you can transport, you can detach. And yeah, with this angle here, it really works, and I'm very pleased with this. So I remember when I was working on this that it was a problem to have only bricks here. It was a reason why I used 2 plates here and not a row of brick. This 1 plate of additional height was a problem for some reason. I don't remember why, if I have to be honest, but the fact is it was yeah, I will have to check it out. But anyway, over here once again you can see that the dimensions really of the gatehouse will be the same. This is 26 studs, and these will be the walls. As you can see, the alignment goes perfectly, so this will be where the wall hits this wall here, and obviously these 2 studs will be visible on both sides, and this will be hidden. So I actually might have mentioned it before, but once this whole thing is probably done, the last thing will be to really form all the texture here. That's why I have left it so long like this. Same with over here. We'll see how much texture needs to be added and which doesn't need to be touched. So that will be one of the last things I do when it comes to the Great Hall as a whole. Very funny, yeah. So yeah, I feel like after this explanation, pretty much I need to start building. One other thing is that the stairs here will be again placed probably the same way. Not much will be changed when it comes to the stairs. I know some people don't like it. I mean, some version of the castle does have stairs here, some more modern ones don't. For me it is a necessity, but also I kind of like the stairs being here. So it brings a bit of a variety to when it comes to colors, not only colors but just design. So I kind of like the stairs. The floor here, I know that some people use some kind of different colors and something that represents this more or less, but I kind of like these ingots over here. It is if I had a way to make it a little bit more damaged, because the ingots make it very tidy, but at the same time I feel like I'm entitled to some creative liberty here and there, and I feel like the ingots are very nice. Maybe one day when I decided, okay, I feel like I'm into something even more detailed. I think I remember when I did this was because the ingots were very cheap at the time where I was shopping in some stores, and I felt like, yeah, this was better. And I remember trying the other thing as well, but it seems so ugly, like so much gray and light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, and it's just very depressing to me to look at it. And I had built everything that way initially, but I took it apart, replaced with ingots, because I didn't like it. So yeah, with those comments, I would say that I am okay to start actually building. I don't know how much time I will have actually in these 2 weeks to actually build. That's why I have placed here basically the stuff ready to build in the working station, and just whenever I feel like the urge to do it, I can sit and start doing it. So yeah, let's see how much ground I can cover, and once there is something built, I guess I will film it again and we'll discuss it. Let's do it. This is the point I have reached so far. Just want to show you how it is going. Not really sure how far I will get for this update, but for the time being it's going alright, I think. So as you can see, I have done basically 2/3 of the outer wall, and I'm using this time to actually do this outline here on all 3 sides to cover this, and just to increase basically the width by 2 studs. With the texture it will be around 3 studs, so actually it will compensate perfectly for this difference here. So I still haven't made up my mind really how exactly to apply the texture. For the time being, I have decided to not have any texture here of this kind, because of these arches, as I mentioned before, the only places I can really attach snots is here and perhaps here. And I don't think that's good enough. I feel like maybe I could add one snot here and just use a plate, probably a 1x8 would suffice over here, but it would make kind of a weird flaky situation because it's gonna be hanging only on one stud. There are some options obviously with I don't know, like probably with these, but it will be very part intensive. At least that way it will not be on one snot, but it will be very part intensive, and it is something that I can fix eventually or improve. So for the time being, I'm just trying to just rebuild everything again with the texture, and then as time goes by, as usual, if I always find a way to improve things, I will go back. Now on this side here, which I actually used to start with, I have even applied the first layer of texture almost everywhere, just to see how far it gets, how it looks, and stuff like that. Over here I will use 1x5, so just order a bunch of those instead of splitting it into a 3 and 2, trying to save all those 1x2s with snots as possible, really, because yeah, I had a big bag of those around, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, and now I'm down to probably 300. It's kind of scary actually. Thought those will be enough for the next 2-3 years, but nope. So yeah, as you can see, I have added a bit of damage here and there, trying to do it gradually and not force it too much, and also do it at the same time as I'm building, so I don't have to go back, and that takes a bit of time, but all in all I feel like this is going fine. So judging by the amount of time that this is taking me, I am thinking that perhaps for this update I'll be able to do obviously this wall over here, and then probably the inner square as well, perhaps. We'll see. And over here, as you can see, I have already started taking apart some of the walls here, because some of the parts I actually don't have all that many, and they're all stored in here. I have to take it apart eventually anyway, so probably around the end I will only have this standing, and the courtyard itself will be removed. I'm not really sure if I should remove the minifigs now, or if I should just place them the same way as they are. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'll be taking parts from here going forward. So yeah, I guess I should keep going. One thing that I have done for the time being is, actually this is raised by one plate, just so this brick here, this level of bricks, can go fully above this, and we can place texture here. Otherwise this goes one layer underneath and you can't place any texture on this row, and I wanted to do that. And calculating, I actually have space to do it, so I use that one plate to raise it a little bit. I feel like the courtyard roofs will be fine the way they are. Actually, the pieces, most of them will align and might not have to redo them other than the outside texture, but we'll see when we get there. There's still quite a bit of work to be done before that is into view. So yeah, let's continue. Decided to stop it here and show you the progress. It went fairly well. When you add some music, this tedious task, well, it wasn't really tedious, but at times repetitive and lengthy, becomes rather easy. So as you can see, I have really completed the outer wall and the inner square as well. And the old courtyard is pretty much taken apart. I have also removed all the minifigs and placed them in this tray here because they were pretty dusty, so I'm gonna actually wash them. And I use the hand vacuum to vacuum most of here. It doesn't matter, I'll take it apart, but still I don't want to spread that dust, and it's a good opportunity to clean well. So yeah, I have added the details of the texture. Most of the places don't really have any texture yet, only indicators. Over here, as mentioned before, I added the first layer. And over here, I actually changed things a little bit, but I'm going to prepare for adding the roof, which probably I will not have time to do now. Might actually end it here and leave the rest of the details for next time, namely the dark tan flooring, the ingots, which will take some time to take them out and place them, little benches, probably these braziers, these other benches, which probably will be reworked a little bit as they're very rough and simplistic here, and maybe even the grass and whatnot. Also the modules with the roof, they will not really be transformed when it comes to size. Only over here I should open them and add the texture, which will actually take a bit of time because I'll try to add damaged sections as well. That takes some time and creativity, and also might end up raising them a little bit, maybe. We'll see how exactly it pans out. But all this I'll probably have time to do next time. I will do some cleaning up. Also, I think I will spend my remaining time before actually there is time to post this video to take all these things apart, all these tan pieces and medium nougat, and separate them into their bins and really just place them where they should be, because yeah, this is a big mess and I don't really like leaving messes. Inside here, other than adding texture where I feel necessary, I actually added this rail here, also on the outer side as well. Just a minor detail, but I thought that it would be fine to add it. And also over here, obviously the indicators are left to add the gatehouse. I'm also planning, in addition to the gatehouse, to add the stairs, but this time the stairs will also be kind of easily removable. They will be one solid chunk, which I can move out, which I not necessarily will be doing whenever I move this. It's just that the stairs, whenever I need to work on them, maybe change them a little bit, or just to work around and they will be in the way. I remember that when I was placing these, it was a pain, so I want the new stairs to be, well, just easily removable. And then I have to figure out really how to implement this kind of gatehouse. It will be this size, but it will have texture. It will also have to figure out how to place these kind of windows instead of these. I might just place them on one side, not on the inside here, for example, and just add some additional detail over on the gatehouse and make this whole thing, which will be pretty big again, very sturdy, so I can easily pick it up just to eject it from this slot, and so it doesn't fall apart when I do that, which I'm not really sure I know right now how to do, but I guess I'll have to figure it out as I'm building. But I feel like for next time I will be focusing on transferring all this little detail in here, maybe even the minifigs, but I'm not sure I will be forcing that much. I not necessarily want to add the minifigs again the same way. I did make pictures similar to last time when I was tiling the tables inside the Great Hall, just to know where everything was. So if I choose to do that, I can easily do it, but I'm not sure I want to do that. But yeah, it's still undecided. But yeah, really happy about this work that I did. It actually was two big, large sessions that I took, maybe 2.5. I did work one night for a little bit, for about an hour and a half, but other than that, 2 other big sessions, and I feel like this is a job well done, and actually wasn't expecting to do all this much for this update, but yeah. So I feel like this concludes this video's update. Once again, thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Smash that subscribe button, as it really helps the channel grow and for my videos to get out there. Get ready to say goodbye to the old courtyard, as you might not see it again, at least not like this, and say hello to the new courtyard. I will see you again in the next 2 weeks, as always, and until then, stay healthy and happy building. Bye for now.